Hello, my dear students. Welcome to the seventh module of the chapter, The Enemy, written by Pearl Buck. Now, in this module, you're going to read and comprehend the text, and also you will be scanning for details. Now, these are the questions from the last module. First question is, what was the advice the old professor of anatomy gave his students? Second one, what was Sadao's reaction when he saw the wounded man sitting on the third day after his surgery? Third one, what did Sadao do after the last stitches had been removed from the American? And fourth one, how did Sadao and Hannah help each other after the servants had left? Now let's continue with our classes. So we stopped where the day when all the servants left home and Hannah was finding it very difficult to do her household works because she was not used to it. And Sadao was examining the young American. You may get up on your feet after 2 weeks. That's what he was, the continuation of that sentence. Next, I want you to stay up only 5 minutes at a time. Tomorrow you may try twice as long. It would be well that you get back your strength as quickly as possible. He saw the flicker of terror on the young face that was still very pale. Okay, the boy murmured. Evidently, he was determined to say more. I feel I ought to thank you, doctor, for having saved my life. Don't thank me too early, Sadao said coldly. He saw the flicker of terror again in the boy's eyes, terror as unmistakable as an animal's. The scars on his neck were crimson for a moment. Those scars, what were they? Sadao did not ask. In the afternoon, the second thing happened. Hannah, working hard on unaccustomed labor, saw a messenger come to the door in an unofficial uniform. Her hands went weak and she could not draw her breath. The servants must have told already. She ran to Sadao, gasping, unable to utter a word. But by then the messenger had simply followed her through the garden, and there he stood. She pointed at him helplessly. So, Sadao told the young American that he is not supposed to stand up or sit down for a long time. He has to do only 5 minutes at a time. Then he has to take rest again and then do it. He was telling the mode he should be following. And this boy, he was really terrified when he learned from Sadao was that he was recovering, because he knew he had to leave or he'll be handing over him to the Sadao will be handing over him to the police. So he was really frightened. And one major thing happened that afternoon. When Hannah was in the kitchen, a messenger who was in the official uniform stood outside. She saw a messenger outside. She was really frightened. She thought that he had come to arrest Sadao, because the servants would have already gone and reported that there is an American staying in this house. Sadao looked up from his book. He was in his office, the other partition of which was thrown open to the garden for the southern sunshine. What is it? He asked the messenger, and then he rose, seeing the man's uniform. You are to come to the palace, the man said. The old general is in pain again. Oh, Hannah breathed. Is that all? All? The messenger exclaimed. Is it not enough? Indeed it is, she replied. I am very sorry. When Sadao came to say goodbye, she was in the kitchen, but doing nothing. The children were asleep, and she sat merely resting for a moment, more exhausted from her fright than from work. So the messenger came, and Sadao asked him what's the matter. He told that the messenger replied that the general is in pain again, so he need to see Sadao. Oh, so Hannah was really relieved, and she couldn't hide it. She said, "Is that all?" So the messenger was angry. He asked, "Isn't that enough for you? The general is in pain, and you're asking, is that all?" So she said, "I'm really sorry for that." Actually, she couldn't hide her relief from him. Okay, and so when Sadao went, she was in the kitchen and she was actually really exhausted. She was very tired, not because of the work. She was also tired from the work, but more than that, she was tired of the fright this messenger caused her. I thought they had come to arrest you, she said. He gazed down into her anxious eyes. I must get rid of this man for your sake, he said in distress. Somehow I must get rid of him. Sadao goes to the general. Of course, the general said weakly. I understand fully, but this is because I once took a degree in Princeton, so few Japanese have. I care nothing for the man, Excellency, Sadao said, but having operated on him with such success. Yes, yes, the general said, it only makes me feel you are more indispensable to me. Evidently, you can save anyone. You are so skilled. You say you think I can stand one more such attack as I have had today? Not more than one, Sadao said. Then certainly I can allow nothing to happen to you, the general said with anxiety. His long, pale Japanese face became expressionless, which meant that he was in deep thought. You cannot be arrested, the general said, closing his eyes. Suppose you were condemned to death and the next day I had to have my operation. So, this Sadhu understood how frightened Hannah was. So he was telling, "I must get rid of this man at least for your sake. Otherwise, you will be having some kind of physical or emotional problems because of worrying. So I have to get rid of this man," he told Hannah. And the general's house, he explained everything to the general, and the general told, I can understand your situation. That is because I had gone out. I had a degree from outside, so only people who are educated or who have gone outside Japan can understand all these things. The Japanese people will not understand these things. Sadao said, at that time Sadao said, it's not that the general, it's not sir, it's not that sir. Actually, I care nothing for that man. I don't have any care or love for that man. But I have did such a great, I have operated him in such a great success. I feel reluctant to hand him over to the police. His body is my work now. That's what he meant. The general said, "Yes, yes, I can understand that. And you are such a skillful person. You are more indispensable to me now. I can't leave you like that now. I can't leave you to any harm now. I need you by my side," he said. And he said, "You cannot be arrested. Actually, do you think I can stand one more such attack that I had today?" Sadao said, "Not more than one. No, in one more you can have maybe, but not more than that. That's your condition." So he said, "Suppose if they arrest you and you are condemned to death, means you are sentenced to death, means I will not have a surgeon. I can't leave you like that." General was concerned about his health. "There are other surgeons, Excellencies," thou suggested. "None I trust," the general replied. "The best ones have been trained by Germans and would consider the operation successful even if I died. I do not care for their point of view," he sighed. "It seems a pity that we cannot better combine the German ruthlessness with the American sentimentality. Then you could turn your prisoner over to execution, and yet I could be sure you would not murder me when I was unconscious." The general laughed. He had an unusual sense of humor. "As a Japanese, could you not combine these two foreign elements?" he asked. Sadao smiled. "I'm not quite sure," he said. "But for your sake, I would be willing to try, Excellency." The general shook his head. "I had rather not be the test case," he said. He felt suddenly weak and overwhelmed with the cares of his life as an official in times such as these when repeated victory brought great responsibilities all over. So the general was very much bothered about Sadao because he wanted Sadao to save his life. And when Sadao said that there are other surgeons too, he said, no, they are all educated in German. I don't want them. I don't trust them. They are very ruthless. And he was asking Sadao, why don't you combine this ruthlessness and sentimentality, American sentimentality together so that you dare to hand the American to the police. At the same time, you would be a very caring doctor too. If you combine these elements, you would be a very good doctor. But Sadao told that I don't know whether I could do that, but I can give a try. So at that time, the general told, "Oh, don't make me the test case for that. I don't want to be a experiment on that." And again, in this paragraphs, we understand that the general is very tired these days because as in this position, he was always having very repeated victories. So that had given him a lot of responsibilities. He was overwhelmed by all these responsibilities all over the South Pacific. It is very unfortunate that this man should have washed up on your doorstep, he said irritably. I feel it so myself, Sadao said gently. It would be best if he could be quietly killed, the general said. Not by you, but by someone who does not know him. I have my own private assassins. Suppose I send two of them to your house tonight, or better, any night. You need know nothing about it. It is now warm. What would be more natural than that you should leave the outer partition of the white man's room open to the garden while he sleeps? Certainly, it would be very natural, Sadao agreed. In fact, it is so left open every night. Good, the general said, yawning. They are very capable assassins. They make no noise and they know the trick of inward bleeding. If you like, I can even have them remove the body. So the general, he was irritated that this man came to Sadao's house itself. So he had some plans. He has got some private assassins, means the people who kill for money, the people who kill others for money. So he has got private assassins. So he said Sadao that you just leave the door of that person's room open so that they'll come and kill it. Maybe today itself, or maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow, I'll send these private assassins to your home to kill this person. They know, they are very skilled in killing. They know to kill without any bleeding or without any noise. And if you want, they'll remove the body from your house itself. Sadao felt it agreeable. He felt that's a good plan. Sadao considered that perhaps would be best, Excellency, he agreed, thinking of Hannah. He left the general's presence then and went home, thinking over the plan. In this way, the whole thing would be taken out of his hands. He would tell Hannah nothing, since she would be timid at the idea of assassins in the house, and yet certainly such persons were essential in an absolute state such as Japan was. How else could rulers deal with those who opposed them? He refused to allow anything but reason to be the atmosphere of his mind as he went into the room where the American was in bed. But as he opened the door, to his surprise, he found the young man out of bed and preparing to go into the garden. What is this? He exclaimed. Who gave you the permission to leave your home? I'm not used to waiting for permission, Tom said gaily. Gosh, I feel pretty good again. But will the muscles on the sides always feel stiff? Is it so? Sadao inquired, surprised. He forgot all else. Now I thought I had provided against that, he murmured. He lifted the edge of the man's shirt and gazed at the healing. So, Sadao thought the general's plan is a good idea. If they remove the body, everyone will think that this person is missing. That's all. Nothing will, nobody will know anything about it. Even he planned not even to tell Hannah, because she will not agree. Some private assassins coming into their house and killing this person. She will never approve of it. So he thought, let her not know about it. Let them kill him and take the body, so that no one will know about it. And when he went to this person's room after returning from the general's house, he saw that this person is not in his room. He was prepared to go into the garden. Sadao was very angry at this. He asked, "Who gave you the permission to go out of this room?" So he said, I'm not used to waiting for permissions. I do things on my own." But he said, I feel perfectly all right, but only the thing is that the muscles feel stiff. The side, the muscles feel stiff. At that time, Sadao forgot all his anger, and he became a doctor again. He said, "Is it so? I thought I provided for against that." Means he thought he had done everything he could do to avoid stiffness, and he started examining. He forgot everything else. He became a doctor again. Now that's it. This is the summary of the text. Although Sadao was in no mind to help the enemy, he takes in the young soldier and provides him with medical assistance. He keeps him at his house to avert any danger coming his way. However, he knew he has opened doors to danger by helping the enemy. His servants decide to leave Sadao too. As the days kept passing, the soldier was now beginning to gain his health back. Now that the soldier was no longer Sadao's patient, he decides to kill him off in his sleep. He informs the general of the American, and thus the general reciprocates. They decide to send private assassins to kill the American soldier. That's a summary. Now these are the self-check questions. Try answering them. And if you are not able to answer them, just reread your text. Now, this is the vocabulary. Flicker means shine unsteadily. Crimson means of a rich, deep red color inclining to purple. Indispensable, absolutely necessary. Condemn means sentenced to, especially sentenced to death. Thank you. That's all. Have a nice day. Take care.